We're speaking of laws of Tefillin. The Gemara tells us that a person has to wear his Tefillin on his weaker arm. For most people, that is his left arm. For people who are left-handed, so the weaker arm is the right arm. But even on the arm that's the weaker arm, there's a specific place on the arm where to put the Tefillin. And our sages teach us that it has to be, if you take the bicep, the arm from the shoulder until the elbow, and you cut it in half. From that half until 2 fingers away from the elbow, that's the space that a person has kasher for tefillin. It's enough space for a big pair of tefillin. The person just has to pay attention. It shouldn't go on the upper half of the bicep, and it shouldn't be too close to the elbow. That way, a person can make sure that he's doing the mitzvah of tefillin. The same thing also with the head tefillin. Person who is wearing his head tefillin, and it's beyond the level of where his hairline is, if any piece is sticking out of this area, then it's not considered he's wearing tefillin. He's not fulfilling the mitzvah of tefillin. And we spoke about this many times. We'll speak about it again. Person has to make sure that and if you see fellow members in your minyan, that they're wearing the tefillin almost between their eyes, way below their hairline, you have to tell them they have to adjust their tefillin, they have to fix the knot in the back, and they have to go and raise it up higher, that the whole tefillin box should be above their hairline, not lower, because they're not fulfilling mitzvah tefillin. He put on the tefillin, said a bracha, didn't make the mitzvah, he wasted his time thinking that he fulfilled the mitzvah of tefillin. He goes to Shamayim, they tell him, you didn't fulfill the mitzvah of tefillin. You tried, you get a reward for trying, but you didn't do it at the end of the day the proper way. That's very critical. Now, then the hand tefillin, the Zohar, Parshat Pinchas, tells us it's very important that obviously we have a tradition. We have to have a yud. If you look at it, the tefillin also has Hashem's name on it. There's a shin on the head tefillin. There's a daled with a knot on the back of the head. It's the shape of a daled. And then you have a yud on the shape of the knot on next to the arm tefillin. So it spells Shem Shakai, one of the names of Hashem. But on the knot, on the hand tefillin, there's a little yod, that little piece of leather that's folded together. That has to be, the Zohar Parshat Pinchas says, has to be touching the box of the tefillin. There's the base of the tefillin, and there's the ketzisa, which is the cube. That part has to be touching. They have to be together. If a person's tefillin has the knot that it's not touching it, you have to make sure that it is touching. You have to adjust it. Some people put a rubber band to make sure it touches. Some people, Ben Ish Chai says, the minhag is that when you tie the arm tefillin, you have to go one time around the box. One time around the box, for what reason? To make sure that the yod is touching the tefillin. So therefore, you see that Rav Ovadia Yosef, he used to not have this minhag. He used to tie the tefillin straight and go to the 7 wrappings. He didn't tie one time around. It's a minhag to fulfill this halacha, making sure the yud touches the box. But a person should make sure that even when he puts it away, it should also always be touching. The Zohar says, whoever has the yud separated away, distance from the tefillin, Haz v'shalom, this causes a distance between you and Shamayim as well. Haz v'shalom, it's spiritually damaging. So therefore, a person has to make sure that even when he puts it away, that the yud and the tefillin are always touching. Some people go to the sofer and they get a gid, they get a sinew, they tie it, they wrap it with the same material they use to sew the tefillin. They sew this yud to be touching the tefillin. A person is able to, he has to make sure to keep this halacha properly according to the Zohar. It's very important. There's a nice story with one of the previous CEO of Starbucks, Howard Schultz. He went to Eretz Israel and he went to go visit his roots. He went to go meet with many rabbis. He met Rav Nassim Finkel, Alav Shalom, who was the head Rosh Yeshiva of Mir at that time. And he had millions of dollars in budget every single month to support all the kolim and the avrechim and all the students that he was managing in the Mir. So he meets with a very wealthy individual and he speaks to him and he tells him, listen, you have a very, very big blanket. You have a very big ability to share with Am Yisrael, to take care of them. And he gave him a lot of Hizuk. And he said, wow, Rabbi, you gave me a lot of Hizuk. He goes, he takes out his checkbook and he says, Rabbi, I signed the check. Here you go, take the check. You put in the number, whatever you need. So the rabbi, he had Parkinson's, he was shaking, he put a 1500 on the line, $1,500. He gave it back to him and he said, sir, you're going to go across the street, Judaica, you're going to go buy a pair of tefillin. You're going to put on tefillin every single day. He says, why? He says, this is more important. You see, the rabbi, he could have taken maybe $10,000, $100,000, $1 million even from this guy. The probably guy would go back to America thinking, oh, I gave tzedakah, you see, I'm a good guy, Hashem loves me, and everything's okay. But he said, no, it's more important that you should put tefillin every single day. And that will be a bigger chesed for Am Yisrael than you just to give money one time and continue the life the same. He made sure that he put on tefillin. It's more important than giving all that money to the tzedakah. Baruch Na'olam.